Hello everyone. Question is a customer would like to design and build a new workload on AWS cloud but does not have the AWS related software technical expertise in-house. Which of the following AWS programs can a customer take advantage to achieve that outcome? Option A, AWS Partner Network Technology Partners. Option B, AWS Marketplace. Option C, AWS Partner Network Consulting Partners. Option D, AWS Service Catalog. Correct answer is option C. Question is distributing workloads across multiple availability zones supports which cloud architecture design principle? Option A, implement automation. Option B, design for agility. Option C, design for failure. Option D, implement elasticity. Correct answer is option C. Question is which AWS services can host a Microsoft SQL Server database? Choose two options. Option A, Amazon EC2. Option B, Amazon Relational Database Service, Amazon RDS. Option C, Amazon Aurora. Option D, Amazon Redshift. Option E, Amazon S3. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is which of the following inspects AWS environments to find opportunities that can save money for users and also improve system performance? Option A, AWS Cost Explorer. Option B, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option C, Consolidated Billing. Option D, Detailed Billing. Correct answer is option B. Question is which of the following Amazon EC2 pricing models allow customers to use existing server-bound software licenses? Option A, spot instances. Option B, reserved instances. Option C, dedicated hosts. Option D, on-demand instances. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is which AWS characteristics make AWS cost effective for a workload with dynamic user demand? Choose two options. Option A, high availability. Option B, shared security model. Option C, elasticity. Option D, pay as you go pricing. Option E, reliability. Correct answer is option C and option D. Question is which service enables risk auditing by continuously monitoring and logging account activity, including user actions in the AWS Management Console and AWS SDKs? Option A, Amazon Cloud Watch. Option B, AWS Cloud Trail. Option C, AWS Config. Option D, AWS Health. Correct answer is option B. Question is which of the following are characteristics of Amazon S3? Choose two options. Option A, a global file system. Option B, an object store. Option C, a local file store. Option D, a network file system. Option E, a durable storage system. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is which services can be used across hybrid AWS cloud architectures? Choose two options. Option A, Amazon Route 53. Option B, Virtual Private Gateway. Option C, Classic Load Balancer. Option D, Auto Scaling. Option E. Amazon CloudWatch default metrics. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is what costs are included when comparing AWS total cost of ownership TCO with on-premises TCO? Option A project management. Option B antivirus software licensing. Option C data center security. Option D software development. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is a company is considering using AWS for a self-hosted database that requires a nightly shutdown for maintenance and cost-saving purposes. Which service should the company use? Option A Amazon Redshift. Option B Amazon DynamoDB. Option C Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon EC2 with Amazon EC2 Instance Store. Option D Amazon EC2 with Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. Correct answer is option D. Question is which of the following is a correct relationship between regions, availability zones and edge locations? Option A data centers contain regions. Option B regions contains availability zones. Option C availability zones contain edge locations. Option D edge locations contain regions. Correct answer is option B. Question is which AWS tools assist with estimating costs? Choose three options. Option A detailed billing report. Option B cost allocation tag. Option C AWS simple monthly calculator. Option D AWS total cost of ownership TCO calculator. Option E cost estimator. Correct answer is option B, C and option D. Question is which of the following are advantages of AWS consolidated billing? Choose two options. Option A the ability to receive one bill for multiple accounts. Option B service limits increasing by default in all accounts. Option C a fixed discount on the monthly bill. Option D potential volume discounts as uses in all accounts is combined. Option E the automatic extension of the master accounts AWS support plan to all accounts. Correct answer is option A and option D. Question is which of the following reserved instance RI pricing models provides the highest average savings compared to on-demand pricing? Option A 1 year no upfront standard RI pricing. Option B 1 year all upfront convertible RI pricing. Option C 3 year all upfront standard RI pricing. Option D 3 year no upfront convertible RI pricing. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is compared with cost in traditional and virtualized data centers, AWS has option A greater variable cost and greater upfront costs. Option B fixed usage costs and lower upfront costs. Option C lower variable costs and greater upfront costs. Option D lower variable costs and lower upfront costs. Correct answer is option D. Question is a characteristic of edge locations is that they option A host Amazon EC2 instances closer to users. Option B help lower latency and improve performance for users. Option C cache frequently changing data without reaching the origin server. Option D refresh data changes daily. Correct answer is option C. Question is which of the following can limit Amazon storage service Amazon S3 bucket access to specific users? Option A public and private key pair. Option B Amazon inspector. Option C AWS identity and access management IAM policies. Option D security groups. Correct answer is option C. Question is which of the following security related actions are available at no cost? Option A calling AWS support. Option B contacting AWS professional services to request a workshop. Option C accessing forums, blogs and white papers. Option D attending AWS classes at a local university. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is which of the reserved instance RI pricing models can change the attributes of the RI as long as the exchange results in the creation of RIs of equal or greater value? Option A dedicated RIs. Option B scheduled RIs. Option C convertible RIs. Option D standard RIs. Correct answer is option C. Question is which AWS feature will reduce the customer's total cost of ownership TCO? Option A shared responsibility security model. Option B single tenancy. Option C elastic computing. Option D encryption. Correct answer is option C. Question is which of the following services will automatically scale with an expected increase in web traffic? Option A AWS code pipeline. Option B elastic load balancing. Option C Amazon EBS. Option D AWS direct connect. Correct answer is option B. Question is where are AWS compliance documents such as an SOC1 report located? Option A Amazon Inspector. Option B AWS Cloud Trail. Option C AWS Artifact. Option D AWS Certificate Manager. Correct answer is option C. Question is under the AWS shared responsibility model, which of the following activities are the customer's responsibility? Choose two options. Option A patching operating system components for Amazon Relational Database Server Amazon RDS. Option B encrypting data on the client side. Option C training the data center staff. Option D configuring network access control lists ACL. Option E maintaining environmental controls within a data center. Correct answer is option B and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is which is a recommended pattern for designing a highly available architecture on AWS? Option A ensure that components have low latency network connectivity. Option B run enough Amazon EC2 instances to operate at peak load. Option C, ensure that the application is designed to accommodate failure of any single component. Option D, use a monolithic application that handles all operations. Correct answer is option C. Question is, according to best practices, how should an application be designed to run in the AWS cloud? Option A, use tightly coupled components. Option B, use loosely coupled components. Option C, use infrequently coupled components. Option D, use frequently coupled components. Correct answer is option B. Question is, AWS supports which of the following methods to add security to identity and access management IAM users? Choose two options. Option A, implementing Amazon Recognition. Option B, using AWS Shield Protected Resources. Option C, blocking access with security groups. Option D, using multi-factor authentication MFA. Option E, enforcing password strength and expiration. Correct answer is option D and option E. Question is, which AWS services should be used for read and write of constantly changing data? Choose two options. Option A, Amazon Glacier. Option B, Amazon RDS. Option C, AWS Snowball. Option D, Amazon Redshift. Option E, Amazon EFS. Correct answer is option A and option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, what is one of the advantages of the Amazon Relational Database Service Amazon RDS? Option A, it simplifies relational database administration tasks. Option B, it provides this percent of reliability and durability. Option C, it automatically scales databases for loads. Option D, it enabled users to dynamically adjust CPU and RAM resources. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a customer needs to run a MySQL database that easily scales. Which AWS service should they use? Option A, Amazon Aurora. Option B, Amazon Redshift. Option C, Amazon DynamoDB. Option D, Amazon Elasticsearch. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which of the following components of the AWS global infrastructure consist of one or more discrete data centers interconnected through low latency links? Option A, availability zone. Option B, edge location. Option C, region. Option D, private networking. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which of the following is a shared control between the customer and AWS? Option A, providing a key for Amazon S3 client-side encryption. Option B, configuration of an Amazon EC2 instance. Option C, environmental controls of physical AWS data centers. Option D, awareness and training. Correct answer is option D. Question is, how many availability zones should compute resources be provisioned across to achieve high availability? Option A, a minimum of 1. Option B, a minimum of 2. Option C, a minimum of 3. Option D, a minimum of 4 or more. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, one of the advantages of moving infrastructure from an on-premises data center to the AWS cloud is option A, it allows the business to eliminate IT bills. Option B, it allows the business to put a server in each customer's data center. Option C, it allows the business to focus on business activities. Option D, it allows the business to leave servers unpatched. Correct answer is option C. Question is, what is the lowest cost durable storage option for retaining database backups for immediate retrieval? Option A, Amazon S3. Option B, Amazon Glacier. Option C, Amazon EBS. Option D, Amazon EC2 Instance Store. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which AWS IAM feature allows developers to access AWS services through the AWS CLI? Option A, API keys. Option B, access keys. Option C, usernames or passwords. Option D, SSH keys. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which of the following is a fast and reliable NoSQL database service? Option A, Amazon Redshift. Option B, Amazon RDS. Option C, Amazon DynamoDB. Option D, Amazon S3. Correct answer is option C. Question is, what is an example of agility in the AWS cloud? Option A, access to multiple instance types. Option B, access to managed services. Option C, using consolidated billing to produce one bill. Option D, decreased acquisition time for new compute resources. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, which service should a customer use to consolidate and centrally manage multiple AWS accounts? Option A, AWS IAM. Option B, AWS Organizations. Option C, AWS Schema Conversion Tool. Option D, AWS Config. Correct answer is option B. Question is, what approach to transcoding a large number of individual video files adheres to AWS architecture principles? Option A, using many instances in parallel. Option B, using a single large instance during off-peak hours. Option C, using dedicated hardware. Option D, using a large GPU instance type. Correct answer is option A. Question is, for which auditing process does AWS have sole responsibility? Option A, AWS IAM policies. Option B, physical security. Option C, Amazon S3 bucket policies. Option D, AWS CloudTrail logs. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which feature of the AWS cloud will support an international company's requirement for low latency to all of its customers? Option A, fault tolerance. Option B, global reach. Option C, pay-as-you-go pricing. Option D, high availability. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which of the following is the customer's responsibility under the AWS shared responsibility model? Option A, patching underlying infrastructure. Option B, physical security. Option C, patching Amazon EC2 instances. Option D, patching network infrastructure. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a customer is using multiple AWS accounts with separate billing. How can the customer take advantage of volume discounts with minimal impact to the AWS resources? Option A, create one global AWS account and move all AWS resources to the account. Option B, sign up for 3 years of reserved instance pricing upfront. Option C, use the consolidated billing feature from AWS organizations. Option D, sign up for the AWS Enterprise Support Plan to get volume discounts. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, which of the following are features of Amazon CloudWatch logs? Choose two options. Option A, summaries by Amazon Simple Notification Service Amazon SNS. Option B, free Amazon Elasticsearch Service Analytics. Option C, provided at no charge. Option D, real-time monitoring. Option E, adjustable retention. Correct answer is option D and option E. Question is, which of the following is an AWS Managed Domain Name System DNS web service? Option A, Amazon Route 53. Option B, Amazon Neptune. Option C, Amazon SageMaker. Option D, Amazon Lightsail. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a customer is deploying a new application and needs to choose an AWS region. Which of the following factors could influence the customer's decision? Choose two options. Option A, reduced latency to users. Option B, the application's presentation in the local language. Option C, data sovereignty compliance. Option D, cooling cost in hotter climates. Option E, proximity to the customer's office for on-site visits. Correct answer is option A and option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company is looking for a scalable data warehouse solution. Which of the following AWS solutions would meet the company's needs? Option A, Amazon Simple Storage Service Amazon S3. Option B, Amazon DynamoDB. Option C, Amazon Kinesis. Option D, Amazon Redshift. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which of the following AWS services can be used to serve large amounts of online video content with the lowest possible latency? Choose two options. Option A, AWS Storage Gateway. Option B, Amazon S3. Option C, Amazon Elastic File System EFS. Option D, Amazon Glacier. Option E, Amazon CloudFront. Correct answer is option B and option E. Question is, which of the following identity and access management IAM entities is associated with an access key ID and secret access key when using AWS command line interface AWS CLI. Option A, IAM group. Option B, IAM user. Option C, IAM role. Option D, IAM policy. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which AWS service should be used for long-term, low-cost storage of data backups? Option A, Amazon RDS. Option B, Amazon Glacier. Option C, AWS Snowball. Option D, AWS EBS. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which of the following are categories of AWS Trusted Advisor? Choose two options. Option A, fault tolerance. Option B, instance uses. Option C, infrastructure. Option D, performance. Option E, storage capacity. Correct answer is option A and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, when performing a cost analysis that supports physical isolation of a customer workload, which compute hosting model should be accounted for in the total cost of ownership TCO? Option A, dedicated hosts. Option B, reserved instances. Option C, on-demand instances. Option D, no upfront reserved instances. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which of the following services could be used to deploy an application to servers running on premises? Choose two options. Option A, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Option B, AWS Ops Works. Option C, AWS Code Deploy. Option D, AWS Batch. Option E, AWS X-Ray. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is, which is the minimum AWS support plan that allows for 1 hour target response time for support cases? Option A, Enterprise. Option B, Business. Option C, Developer. Option D, Basic. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which of the following is an advantage of consolidated billing on AWS? Option A, volume pricing qualification. Option B, shared access permissions. Option C, multiple bills per account. Option D, eliminates the need for tagging. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which AWS services are defined as global instead of regional? Choose two options. Option A, Amazon Route 53. Option B, Amazon EC2. Option C, Amazon S3. Option D, Amazon CloudFront. Option E, Amazon DynamoDB. Correct answer is option A and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, which service provides a hybrid storage service that enables on-premises applications to seamlessly use cloud storage? Option A, Amazon Glacier. Option B, AWS Snowball. Option C, AWS Storage Gateway. Option D, Amazon Elastic Block Storage, Amazon EBS. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which AWS service or feature is designed to help companies take advantage of quantity discounts available from AWS? Option A, saving plans. Option B, AWS budgets. Option C. AWS organizations. Option D. AWS pricing calculator. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which is the minimum AWS support plan that includes infrastructure event management without additional costs? Option A. Enterprise. Option B. Business. Option C. Developer. Option D. Basic. Correct answer is option B. Question is, an administrator needs to rapidly deploy a popular IT solution and start using it immediately. Where can the administrator find assistance? Option A. AWS well-architected framework documentation. Option B. Amazon CloudFront. Option C. AWS Code Commit. Option D. AWS Quick Start Reference Deployment. Correct answer is option D. Question is, as part of the AWS shared responsibility model, which of the following operational controls do users fully inherit from AWS? Option A. Security management of data center. Option B. Patch management. Option C. Configuration management. Option D. User and access management. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which of the following provides the ability to share the cost benefits of reserved instances across AWS accounts? Option A. AWS Cost Explorer between AWS accounts. Option B. Linked accounts and consolidated billing. Option C. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud Amazon EC2 Reserved Instance Utilization Report. Option D. Amazon EC2 Instance Uses Report between AWS accounts. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, how is asset management on AWS easier than asset management in a physical data center? Option A. AWS provides a configuration management database that users can maintain. Option B. AWS performs infrastructure discovery scans on the customer's behalf. Option C. Amazon EC2 automatically generates an asset report and places it in the customer's specified Amazon S3 bucket. Option D. Users can gather asset metadata reliably with a new API calls. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which feature adds elasticity to Amazon EC2 instances to handle the changing demand for workloads? Option A. Resource groups. Option B. Lifecycle policies. Option C. Application load balancer. Option D. Amazon EC2 auto scaling. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which Amazon EC2 pricing model is the most cost efficient for an uninterruptible workload that runs once a year for 24 hours? Option A. On-demand instances. Option B. Reserved instances. Option C. Spot instances. Option D. Dedicated instances. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which load balancer types are available with Elastic Load Balancing ELB? Choose two options. Option A. Public load balancers with AWS application auto-scaling capabilities. Option B. F5 Big IP and Citrix NetScaler load balancers. Option C. Classic load balancers. Option D. Cross-zone load balancers with public and private IPs. Option E. Application load balancers. Correct answer is option C and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, how does AWS most effectively reduce computing costs for a growing startup company? Option A, it provides on-demand resources for peak users. Option B, it automates the provisioning of individual developer environments. Option C, it automates customer relationship management. Option D, it implements a fixed monthly computing budget. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which Amazon EC2 pricing model offers the most significant discount when compared to on-demand instances? Option A, partial upfront reserved instances for a year term. Option B, all upfront reserved instances for a year term. Option C, all upfront reserved instances for a 3-year term. Option D, no upfront reserved instances for a 3-year term. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company wants to provide one of its employees with access to Amazon RDS. The company also wants to limit the interaction to only the AWS CLI and AWS Software Development Kit's SDKs. Which combination of actions should the company take to meet these requirements while following the principles of least privilege? Choose two options. Option A, create an IAM user and provide AWS Management Console access only. Option B, create an IAM user and provide programmatic access only. Option C, create an IAM role and provide AWS Management Console access only. Option D, create an IAM policy with administrator access and attach it to the IAM user. Option E, create an IAM policy with Amazon RDS access and attach it to the IAM user. Correct answer is option B and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, an external auditor has requested that a company provide a list of all its IAM users, including the status of users' credentials and access keys. What is the simplest way to provide this information? Option A, create an IAM user account for the auditor, granting the auditor administrator permissions. Option B, take a screenshot of each user's page in the AWS Management Console, then provide the screenshots to the auditor. Option C, download the IAM credential report, then provide the report to the auditor. Option D, download the AWS Trusted Advisor report, then provide the report to the auditor. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which service would provide network connectivity in a hybrid architecture that includes the AWS cloud? Option A, Amazon VPC. Option B, AWS Direct Connect. Option C, AWS Directory Service. Option D, Amazon API Gateway. Correct answer is option A. Question is, what is the value of using third-party software from AWS Marketplace instead of installing third-party software on Amazon EC2? Choose two options. Option A, users pay for software by the hour or month depending on licensing. Option B, AWS Marketplace enables the user to launch applications with one click. Option C, AWS Marketplace data encryption is managed by a third-party vendor. Option D, AWS Marketplace eliminates the need to upgrade to newer software versions. Option E. Users can deploy third-party software without testing. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is, according to the AWS shared responsibility model, who is responsible for configuration management? Option A. It is solely the responsibility of the customer. Option B. It is solely the responsibility of AWS. Option C. It is shared between AWS and the customer. Option D. It is not part of the AWS shared responsibility model. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, what is an advantage of deploying an application across multiple availability zones? Option A. There is a lower risk of service failure if a natural disaster causes a service disruption in a given AWS region. Option B. The application will have higher availability because it can withstand a service disruption in one availability zone. Option C. There will be a better coverage as availability zones are geographically distant and can serve a wider area. Option D. There will be decreased application latency that will improve the user experience. Correct answer is option B. Question is, AWS CloudFormation is designed to help the user. Option A. Model and provision resources. Option B. Update application code. Option C. Set up data lakes. Option D. Create reports for billing. Correct answer is option A. Question is, when comparing the total cost of ownership TCO of an on-premises infrastructure to a cloud architecture, what cost should be considered? Choose two options. Option A. The credit card processing fees for application transactions in the cloud. Option B. The cost of purchasing and installing server hardware in the on-premises data. Option C. The cost of administering the infrastructure including operating system and software installations, patches, backups, and recovering from failures. Option D. Cost of third-party penetration testing. Option E. The advertising cost associated with an ongoing enterprise-wide campaign. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is, what helps a company provide a lower latency experience to its user globally? Option A. Using an AWS region that is central to all users. Option B. Using a second availability zone in the AWS region that is used. Option C. Enabling caching in the AWS region that is being used. Option D. Using edge locations to put content closer to all users. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, when designing a typical three-tier web application, which AWS services or features improve availability and reduce the impact failures? Choose two options. Option A. AWS Autoscaling for Amazon EC2 instances. Option B. Amazon VPC Subnet ACLs to check the health of a service. Option C. Distributed resources across multiple availability zones. Option D. AWS Server Migration Service AWS SMS to move Amazon EC2 instances into a different region. Option E. Distributed resources across multiple AWS points of presence. Correct answer is option A and option C. Question is, which functions can users perform using AWS KMS? Option A, create and manage AWS access keys for the AWS account root user. Option B, create and manage AWS access keys for an AWS account IAM user. Option C, create and manage keys for encryption and decryption of data. Option D, create and manage keys for multiple factor authentication. Correct answer is option C. Question is, under the AWS shared responsibility model, the customer manages which of the following? Choose two options. Option A, decommissioning of physical storage devices. Option B, security group and ACL configuration. Option C, patch management of an Amazon RDS instance operating system. Option D, controlling physical access to data centers. Option E, patch management of an Amazon EC2 instance operating system. Correct answer is option B and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, which tool is used to forecast AWS spending? Option A, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option B, AWS Organizations. Option C, Cost Explorer. Option D, Amazon Inspector. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company needs an Amazon S3 bucket that cannot have any public objects due to compliance requirements. How can this be accomplished? Option A, enable S3 block public access from the AWS Management Console. Option B, hold a team meeting to discuss the importance if only uploading private S3 objects. Option C, require all S3 objects to be manually approved before uploading. Option D, create a service to monitor all S3 uploads and remove any public uploads. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a user needs to generate a report that outlines the status of key security checks in an AWS account. The report must include: first, the status of Amazon S3 bucket permissions. Second, whether multi-factor authentication is enabled for the AWS account root user. Third, if any security groups are configured to allow unrestricted access, where can all this information be found in one location? Option A, Amazon QuickSight Dashboard. Option B, AWS CloudTrail Trails. Option C, AWS Trusted Advisor Report. Option D, IAM Credential Report. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company has deployed several relational databases on Amazon EC2 instances. Every month, the database software vendor releases new security patches that need to be applied to the databases. What is the most efficient way to apply the security patches? Option A, connect to each database instance on a monthly basis and download and apply the necessary security patches from the vendor. Option B, enable automatic patching for the instances using the Amazon RDS console. Option C, in AWS config, configure a rule for the instances and the required patch label. Option D, use AWS Systems Manager to automate database patching according to a schedule. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, which Amazon S3 storage class is optimized to provide access to data with lower resiliency requirements but rapid access when needed, such as duplicate backups. Option A, Amazon S3 Standard. Option B, Amazon S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Option C, Amazon S3 One Zone Infrequent Access. Option D, Amazon S3 Glacier. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which of the following describes a security best practice that can be implemented using AWS IAM? Option A, disable AWS Management Console access for all users. Option B, generate secret keys for every IAM user. Option C, grant permissions to users who are required to perform a given task only. Option D, store AWS credentials within Amazon EC2 instances. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company must store critical business data in Amazon S3 with a backup to another AWS region. How can this be achieved? Option A, use an Amazon CloudFront Content Delivery Network CDN to cache data globally. Option B, set up Amazon S3 cross-region replication to another AWS region. Option C, configure the AWS backup service to back up the data to another AWS region. Option D, take Amazon S3 bucket snapshots and copy that data to another AWS region. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, an architect design includes Amazon EC2, an Elastic Load Balancer, and Amazon RDS. What is the best way to get a monthly cost estimation for this architecture? Option A, open an AWS support case, provide the architecture proposal, and ask for a monthly cost estimation. Option B, use and the published prices of the AWS services and calculate the monthly estimate. Option C, use the AWS simple monthly calculator to estimate the monthly cost. Option D, use the AWS total cost of ownership TCO calculator, estimate the monthly cost. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a user wants recommendation on how to optimize the cost and performance of their AWS environment. Which AWS tool can they use? Option A, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option B, AWS Systems Manager. Option C, AWS Config. Option D, AWS Service Catalog. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which actions support the reliability pillar of the AWS architected framework? Select two options. Option A, enforce higher security specifically in regard to designed for failure. Option B, ensure that backend components include multiple availability zone deployments. Option C, avoid the use of automatic scaling to simplify the cloud architecture. Option D, enable object versioning within Amazon S3 and replicating data to another AWS region. Option E, include an application load balancer to distribute traffic to multiple Amazon EC2 instances in separate availability zones. Correct answer is option B and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a cloud practitioner needs to obtain AWS compliance reports before migrating an environment to the AWS cloud. How can these reports be generated? Option A, contact the AWS compliance team. Option B, download the reports from AWS Artifact. Option C, open a case with AWS support. Option D, generate the reports with Amazon Med. Correct answer is option B. Question is, what can a cloud practitioner use to retrieve AWS security and compliance documents and submit them as evidence to an auditor or regulator? Option A, AWS Certificate Manager. Option B, AWS Systems Manager. Option C, AWS Artifact. Option D, Amazon Inspector. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company with a developer level AWS support plan provisioned an Amazon RDS database and cannot connect to it. Who should the developer contact for this level of support? Option A, AWS support using a support case. Option B, AWS professional services. Option C, AWS technical account manager, AWS consulting partners. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which of the following are main components of the AWS global infrastructure? Select two options. Option A, resource groups. Option B, availability zones. Option C, security groups. Option D, regions. Option E, Amazon Machine Images, AMIS. Correct answer is option B and option E. Question is, a company must ensure that its endpoint for a database instance remains the same after a single availability zone service interruption. The application needs to resume database operations without the need for manual administrative intervention. How can these requirements be met? Option A, use multiple Amazon Route 53 routes to the standby database instance endpoint hosted on AWS Storage Gateway. Option B, configure Amazon RDS multi-availability zone deployments with automatic failover to the standby. Option C, add multiple application load balancers and deploy the database instance with AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Option D, deploy a single network load balancer to distribute incoming traffic across multiple Amazon CloudFront origins. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company is launching an e-commerce site that will store and process credit card data. The company requires information about AWS compliance reports and AWS agreements. Which AWS service provides on-demand access to these items? Option A, AWS Certificate Manager. Option B, AWS Config. Option C, AWS Artifact. Option D, AWS CloudTrail. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company wants to set up a highly available workload in AWS with a disaster recovery plan that will allow the company to recover in case of a regional service interruption. Which configuration will meet these requirements? Option A, run on two availability zones in one AWS region, using the additional availability zones in the AWS region for the disaster recovery site. Option B, run on two availability zones in one AWS region, using another AWS region for the disaster recovery site. Option C, run on two availability zones in one AWS region, using a local AWS region for the disaster recovery site. Option D, run across two AWS regions using a third AWS region for the disaster recovery site. Correct answer is option A. Question is, what is a characteristic of convertible reserved instances RIs? Option A, users can exchange convertible RIs for other convertible RIs from a different instance family. Option B, users can exchange convertible RIs for other convertible RIs in different AWS regions. Option C, users can sell and buy convertible RIs on the AWS marketplace. Option D, users can shorten the term of their convertible RIs by merging them with other convertible RIs. Correct answer is option A. Question is, how do AWS users trade infrastructure expenses for operational expenses? Option A, secure their physical infrastructure to prevent malicious attacks. Option B, use AWS budgets to ensure that spending on AWS resources does not exceed preset thresholds. Option C, eliminate the electricity costs that are associated with the hosting of physical servers. Option D, use AWS autoscaling to dynamically increase and decrease compute resource as needed. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company plans to store sensitive data in an Amazon S3 bucket. Which task is the responsibility of AWS? Option A, activate encryption at rest for the data. Option B, provide security for the physical infrastructure. Option C, train the company's employees about cloud security. Option D, remove personally identifiable information PII from the data. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company needs to perform a one-time migration of 40 TB of data from its on-premises storage servers to Amazon S3. The transfer must happen as quickly as possible while keeping costs to a minimum. The company has 100 Mbps internet connectivity. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? Option A, AWS Snowball. Option B, AWS Direct Connect. Option C, AWS Storage Gateway. Option D, Amazon S3 Transfer Acceleration. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a user needs to determine whether an Amazon EC2 instance's security groups were modified in the last month. How can the user see if a change was made? Option A, use Amazon EC2 to see if the security group was changed. Option B, use AWS Identity and Access Management IAM to see which user or role changed the security group. Option C, use AWS CloudTrail to see if the security group was changed. Option D, use Amazon CloudWatch to see if the security group was changed. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, which AWS service automatically handles application health monitoring? Option A, Amazon API Gateway. Option B, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Option C, AWS Lambda. Option D, AWS Config. Correct answer is option B. Question is, an external auditor has requested that a company provide a list of all its 1AM users, including the status of users' credentials and access keys. What is the simplest way to provide this information? Option A. Create an 1AM user account for the auditor, granting the auditor administrator permissions. Option B. Take a screenshot of each user's page in the AWS Management Console, then provide the screenshots to the auditor. Option C. Download the 1AM credential report, then provide the report to the auditor. Option D. Download the AWS Trusted Advisor report, then provide the report to the auditor. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a user and optimize Amazon EC2 cost by performing which of the following tasks? Select two options. Option A. Implementing auto-scaling group to add and remove instances based on demand. Option B. Creating a policy to restrict IAM users from creating new instances. Option C. Setting a budget to limit spending on EC2 instances using AWS budgets. Option D. Purchasing reserved instances. Option E. Adding EC2 instances to a second AWS region that is geographically close to the end users. Correct answer is option A and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company has a managed IAM policy that does not grant the necessary permissions for users to accomplish required tasks. How can this be resolved? Option A. Enable AWS Sealed Advanced. Option B. Create a custom 1AM policy. Option C. Use a third-party web application firewall managed rule from the AWS Marketplace. Option D. Use AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS to create a customer managed key. Correct answer is option B. Question is, according to the AWS shared responsibility model, when using Amazon RDS, who is responsible for scheduling and performing backups? Option A. AWS is responsible for both tasks. Option B. The customer is responsible for scheduling and AWS is responsible for performing backups. Option C. The customer is responsible for both tasks. Option D. AWS is responsible for scheduling and the user is responsible for performing backups. IoT performing backups. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company wants to build a new architecture with AWS services. The company needs to compare service cost at various scales. Which AWS service, tool, or features should the company use to meet the requirement? Option A. AWS Compute Optimizer. Option B. AWS Pricing Calculator. Option C. AWS Trusted Advisor. Option D. Cost Explorer Right Sizing Recommendations. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which features and benefits does the AWS organizations provide? Select two options. Option A. Establishing real-time communications between members of an internal team. Option B. Facilitating the use of NoSQL databases. Option C. Providing automated security checks. Option D. Implementing consolidated billing. Option E. Enforcing the governance of AWS accounts. Correct answer is option D and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, how can a user achieve high availability for a web application hosted on AWS? Option A, use a classic load balancer across multiple AWS regions. Option B, use an application load balancer across multiple availability zones in one AWS region. Option C, set up automatic scaling and load balancing with another application instance running on premises. Option D, use the AWS region with the highest number of availability zones. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a user has an AWS account with a business level AWS support plan and needs assistance with handling a production service disruption. Which action should the user take? Option A, contact the dedicated AWS Technical Account Manager TAM. Option B, contact the dedicated AWS Concierge Support Team. Option C, open a business critical system down support case. Option D, open a production system down support case. Correct answer is option D. Question is, a company must process a large amount of data from social media accounts by making graphical queries with high throughput. Which AWS service will help the company design a cloud architecture that will meet these requirements? Option A, Amazon RDS. Option B, Amazon DynamoDB. Option C, Amazon Neptune. Option D, Amazon Redshift. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company spends several months upgrading its on-premises infrastructure every few years. The company wants to reduce infrastructure procurement time by migrating to the AWS cloud. What is the main benefit of migrating to the AWS cloud for this use case? Option A, AWS will help move the existing hardware to the AWS data centers. Option B, the company will have increased agility with on-demand access to IT resources. Option C, enterprise support will be available to help with recurring application installation and setup. Option D, the company will experience less downtime with multi-agent deployments. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a user can optimize Amazon EC2 costs by performing which of the following tasks? Choose two options. Option A, implementing auto-scaling groups to add and remove instances based on demand. Option B, creating a policy to restrict IAM users from creating new instances. Option C, setting a budget to limit spending on EC2 instances using AWS budgets. Option D, purchasing reserved instance. Option E, adding EC2 instances to a second AWS region that is geographically close to the end users. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is, which of the following are customer responsibilities under the AWS shared responsibility model? Choose two options. Option A, physical security of AWS facilities. Option B, configuration of security groups. Option C, encryption of customer data on AWS. Option D, management of AWS Lambda infrastructure. Option E, management of network throughput of each AWS region. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is, a company needs to perform a one-time migration of 40 TB of data from its on-premises storage servers to Amazon S3. The transfer must happen as quickly as possible while keeping costs to minimum. The company has 100 Mbps internet connectivity. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? Option A, AWS Snowball. Option B, AWS Direct Connect. Option C, AWS Storage Gateway. Option D, Amazon S3 Transfer Acceleration. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, what does Amazon CloudFront provide? Option A, automatic scaling for all resources to power an application from a single unified interface. Option B, secure delivery of data, videos, applications, and APIs to users globally with low latency. Option C, ability to directly manage traffic globally through a variety of routing types, including latency-based routing, GeoONS, geo-proximity, and weighted round robin. Option D, automatic distribution of incoming application traffic across multiple targets, such as Amazon EC2 instances, containers, IP addresses, and AWS Lambda functions. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company's security policy requires the company to keep a record of all changes that are made to Amazon EC2 security groups. The record must include information about who made the change and when the change was made. Which AWS service will provide this information? Option A, AWS Lambda. Option B, Amazon CloudWatch. Option C, AWS WAF. Option D, AWS CloudTrail. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which actions allow a company's security team to improve the security procedures for employees accessing AWS resources? Select two options. Option A, create IAM users for groups of employees to share. Option B, create IAM policies based on least privilege principles. Option C, create IAM users in different availability zones. Option D, enable multi-factor authentication for privileged users. Option E, specify an individual IAM users for each Amazon EC2 instance. Correct answer is option B and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company has stopped all of its Amazon EC2 instances, but monthly billing charges continues to occur. What should be causing this? Select two options. Option A, Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS Store storage charges. Option B, operating system charges. Option C, hardware charges. Option D, Elastic IP charges. Option E, input output IO charges. Correct answer is option A and option D. Question is, how can a company maximize its application uptime in the AWS cloud? Option A, deploy multiple copies of the application in different availability zones in the same subnet. Failover with Amazon Route 53. Option B, deploy multiple copies of the application across multiple availability zones within a VPC. Manually fail over if one site is unavailable. Option C. Deploy the application to a single availability zone and fall back to a static page if the application is unavailable. Option D. Deploy multiple copies of the application across multiple availability zones and load balance across each availability zone for automatic failover. Correct answer is option D. Question is, a solutions architect needs to maintain a fleet of Amazon EC2 instances so that any impaired instances are replaced with new ones. Which AWS service should the solutions architect use? Option A. Amazon Elastic Container Service, Amazon ECS. Option B. Amazon Guard Duty. Option C. AWS Shield. Option D. AWS Auto Scaling. Correct answer is option A. Question is, AWS services offer gateway VPC endpoints that can be used to avoid sending traffic over the internet. Select two options. Option A. Amazon Simple Notification Service, Amazon SNS. Option B. Amazon Simple Queue Service, Amazon SQS. Option C. AWS Code Build. Option D. Amazon S3. Option E. Amazon DynamoDB. Hello everyone. Question is, a company has an AWS environment that consists of a VPC, multiple subnets, and many Amazon EC2 instances in the subnets. An engineer wants to restrict inbound traffic to one particular EC2 instance without affecting the other EC2 instances. Which AWS service or feature should the engineer use to meet these requirements? Option A. Network ACLs. Option B. Security groups. Option C. Amazon Guard Duty. Option D. AWS Shield. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company wants to build an application for a new line of business according to the AWS well-architected framework. What design principles should be implemented? Select two options. Option A. Consolidate multiple AWS accounts into a single account. Option B. Buy and host hardware in the AWS cloud. Option C. Decouple the AWS cloud architecture to break up monolithic deployments. Option D. Move on-premises network hardware to VPCs. Option E. Design elasticity into the AWS cloud design. Correct answer is option D and option E. Question is, which of the following is a best practice for creating policies for IAM users? Option A. Start with a large set of permissions and remove the permissions that are not required. Option B. Use only Amazon managed policies. Option C. Start with a minimum set of permissions and grant additional permissions as necessary. Option D. Attach policies directly to each user individually. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which benefit is available for convertible reserved instances but not standard reserved instances? Option A. The instances can be exchanged for the instances of a different instance size. Option B. The instances can be exchanged for instances of a different instance family. Option C. The instances can be changed to a different availability zone. Option D. The instances can be changed to a different AWS region. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a web developer has limited knowledge of AWS networking services such as Amazon VPC, Elastic Load Balancing, and auto scaling. but wants to host a highly available web application. Which AWS service would automatically handle the deployment and reduce the complexity for the developer? Option A, AWS Code Deploy. Option B, AWS Resource Access Manager. Option C, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Option D, AWS Cloud Formation. Correct answer is option C. Question is, which AWS service supports a hybrid architecture that gives users the ability to extend AWS infrastructure, AWS services, APIs, and tools of data centers, co-location environments, or on-premises facilities? Option A, AWS Snow Mobile. Option B, AWS Local Zones. Option C, AWS Outposts. Option D, AWS Fargate. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a solutions architect needs to create a cost estimate for running workloads on AWS. The cost estimate must then be exported for management review. Which AWS service or feature should be used to accomplish these tasks? Option A, Cost Explorer. Option B, Amazon QuickSight. Option C, AWS Pricing Calculator. Option D, AWS Budgets. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which AWS support plan is recommended for business and mission critical uploads workloads in AWS environments? Option A, AWS Business Support. Option B, AWS Enterprise Support. Option C, AWS Basic Support. Option D, AWS Developer Support. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a developer needs to access AWS resources from the AWS CLI. Which feature in AWS Identity and Access Management IAM can the developer use for authentication? Option A, IAM Access Keys. Option B, IAM Policy. Option C, IAM Role. Option D, Account Password Policy. Correct answer is option A. Question is, which AWS service or tool allows users to visualize, understand, and manage AWS cost and uses over time? Option A, AWS Budgets. Option B, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option C, AWS Cloud Trail. Option D, Cost Explorer. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which actions should a company take to avoid failures in an AWS architecture design? Select two options. Option A, separate Amazon EC2 instances into different availability zones. Option B, enable Alexa for business applications. Option C, use Amazon Workspaces to reduce the need for operating system patching. Option D, use AWS Glue to prepare and load failover data. Option E, enable Amazon S3 cross-region replication. Correct answer is option A and option E. Question is, a developer is writing a new application that consists of multiple AWS microservices during quality assurance testing. The developer notices runtime errors in several areas of the application. Which AWS service should the developer use to help troubleshoot the errors? Option A, AWS Cloud Trail. Option B, AWS X-Ray. Option C, Amazon CloudWatch. Option D, Amazon Cognito. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company is running a reporting web server application on Amazon EC2 instances. The application runs once every week and once again at the end of the month. The EC2 instances can be shut down when they are not in use. What is the most cost-effective billing model for this use case? Option A, standard reserved instances. Option B, convertible reserved instances. Option C, on-demand capacity reservations. Option D, on-demand instances. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, how does AWS cloud computing help business reduce costs? Select two options. Option A, AWS charges the same prices for services in every AWS region. Option B, AWS enables capacity to be adjusted on demand. Option C, AWS offers discounts for Amazon EC2 instances that remain idle for more than 1 week. Option D, AWS does not charge for data sent from the AWS cloud to the internet. Option E, AWS eliminates many of the costs of building and maintaining on-premises data centers. Correct answer is option B and option D. Question is, an auditor is preparing for an annual security audit. The auditor requests certification details for a company's AWS hosted resources across multiple availability zones in the US East 1 region. How should the company respond to the auditor's request? Option A, open an AWS support ticket to request that the AWS Technical Account Manager TAM respond and help the auditor. Option B, open an AWS support ticket to request that the auditor receive approval to conduct an on-site assessment of the AWS data centers in which the company operates. Option C, explain to the auditor that AWS does not need to be audited because the company's application is hosted in multiple availability zones. Option D, use AWS Artifact to download the applicable report for AWS security controls. Provide the report to the auditor. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, which AWS benefit is demonstrated by on-demand technology services that enable companies to replace upfront fixed expenses with variable expenses? Option A, high availability. Option B, economies of scale. Option C, pay-as-you-go pricing. Option D, global reach. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company is running a key value NoSQL workload on Amazon EC2 instances and need to have scalability, failover protection, and backup capabilities. What is the most operationally efficient way to meet these requirements? Option A, add additional EC2 instances to the database cluster. Option B, run an identical copy of the database in a second availability zone. Option C, migrate the database to Amazon DynamoDB. Option D, migrate to a relational database. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company is undergoing a security audit. The audit includes security validation and compliance validation of the AWS infrastructure and services that the company uses. The auditor needs to locate compliance related information and must download AWS security and compliance documents. These documents include the System and Organization Control SOC reports. Which AWS service or group can provide these documents? Option A, AWS Abuse Team. Option B, AWS Artifact. Option C, AWS Support. Option D, AWS Config. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which phrase describes agility as a benefit of building in the AWS cloud? Option A, the ability to pay only when computing resources are consumed based on the volume of resources that are consumed. Option B, the ability to eliminate guessing about infrastructure capacity needs. Option C, the ability to support innovation through a reduction in the time that is required to make IT resources available to developers. Option D, the ability to deploy an application in multiple AWS regions around the world in minutes. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, which tasks require the use of AWS account root user credentials? Select two options. Option A, configure multi-factor authentication MFA delete for an Amazon S3 bucket. Option B, create an IAM administrator access policy. Option C, open a support ticket with AWS to request an increase to service quotas. Option D, change an AWS support plan. Option E, change payment currency for an AWS account. Correct answer is option B and option D. Question is, a company moves a workload to AWS to run on Amazon EC2 instances. The company needs to run the workload in the most cost-effective way. What can the company do to meet this requirement? Option A, use AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS. Option B, use multiple AWS accounts and consolidated billing. Option C, use AWS CloudFormation to deploy the infrastructure. Option D, right size all the EC2 instances that are used in the deployment. Correct answer is option D. Question is, a company has an application with robust hardware requirements. The application must be accessed by students who are using lightweight, low-cost laptops. Which AWS service will help the company deploy the application without investing the backend infrastructure or high-end client hardware? Option A, Amazon App Stream 2.0. Option B, AWS App Sync. Option C, Amazon Word Link. Option D, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, given the source code for an AWS Lambda function in the local file store by containing a handler function called get_store and the following AWS CloudFormation template. What should be done to prepare the template so that it can be deployed using the AWS CLI command AWS Cloud for Rotation Deploy? Option A, use AWS CloudFormation compile to base64 encode and embed the source file into a modified CloudFormation template. Option B, use AWS CloudFormation package to upload the source code to an Amazon S3 bucket and produce a modified CloudFormation template. Option C, use AWS Lambda Zip to package the source file together with the CloudFormation template and deploy the resulting zip archive. Option D, use AWS Serverless Create package to embed the source file directly into the existing CloudFormation template. Correct answer is option B. Question is an application running on multiple Amazon EC2 instances pulls messages from a standard Amazon SQS queue. A requirement for the application is that all messages must be encrypted at rest. Developers are instructed to use methods that allow for centralized key management and minimize possible support requirements whenever possible. Which of the following solutions supports these requirements? Option A. Encrypt individual messages by using client-side encryption with customer-managed keys, then write to the SQS queue. Option B. Encrypt individual messages by using SQS Extended Client and the Amazon S3 encryption client. Option C. Create an SQS queue and encrypt the queue by using server-side encryption with AWS KMS. Option D. Create an SQS queue and encrypt the queue by using client record encryption. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is a software company is using AWS code build to build an application. The build spec runs the application build and creates a Docker image that contains the application. The company needs to push the Docker image to Amazon Elastic Container Registry Amazon ECR only upon the completion of each successful build. Which solution meets these requirements? Option A. Change the build spec by adding a post_build phase that uses the commands block to push the Docker image. Option B. Change the build spec by adding a post_build phase that uses the finally block to push the Docker image. Option C. Specify the Docker image in the build spec's artifacts sequence with an action to push the image. Option D. Use a batch build to define a build matrix. Use the batch build to push the Docker image. Correct answer is option A. Question is a company has an application where reading objects from Amazon S3 is based on the type of user. The user types are registered using user and guest user. The company has 25,000 users and is growing. Information is pulled from an S3 bucket depending on the user type. Which approaches are recommended to provide access to both user types? Select two options. Option A. Provide a different access key and secret access keys in the application code for registered users and guest users to provide read access to the objects. Option B. Use S3 bucket policies to restrict read access to specific IAM users. Option C. Use Amazon Cognito to provide access using authenticated and unauthenticated roles. Option D. Create a new IAM user for each user and grant read access. Option E. Use the AWS IAM service and let the application assume the different roles using the AWS Security Token Service AWS STS assume role action depending on the type of the user and provide read access to Amazon S3 using the assumed role. Correct answer is option C and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is which combination of steps will enable multi-factor authentication MFA on an AWS account? Select two options. Option A. Contact AWS support to initiate MFA activation. Option B. Activate AWS sealed on an MFA compatible device. Option C. Acquire an MFA compatible device. Option D. Activate the MFA device by using Amazon Guard Duty. Option E. Activate the MFA device in the IAM console or by using the AWS CLI. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is, a company needs a central user portal so that users can log into third-party business applications that support Security Assertion Markup Language SAML 2.0. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? Option A. AWS Identity and Access Management IAM. Option B. Amazon Cognito. Option C. AWS Single Sign-On. Option D. AWS CL. Correct answer is option B. Question is, which solution provides a fast, automated, and repeatable method of deploying AWS cloud infrastructure to multiple AWS regions? Option A. Use AWS CodeStar to set up a continuous delivery toolchain for automated deployment. Option B. Create and launch an Amazon EC2 Amazon Machine Image AMI containing the source code with built-in deployment hooks to launch other AWS services. Option C. Create and use an AWS CloudFormation template. Option D. Use AWS Systems Manager to automate management tasks such as creating Amazon EC2 Amazon machine images AMIs and applying patches. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company is planning to build a workload in the AWS cloud. The company needs to estimate the cost of the network, compute, storage, and database for the workload. Which AWS service or tool should the company use to generate this estimate? Option A. AWS Budgets. Option B. AWS Organizations. Option C. Cost Explorer. Option D. AWS Pricing Calculator. Correct answer is option D. Question is, which service is an AWS in-memory data store service? Option A. Amazon Aurora. Option B. Amazon RDS. Option C. Amazon DynamoDB. Option D. Amazon Elastic Cache. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is using Amazon EC2 instances. Which tasks are the company's responsibility according to the AWS shared responsibility model? Select two options. Option A. Maintain the network infrastructure. Option B. Patch the guest operating system. Option C. Configure a security group on deployed EC2 instances. Option D. Provide physical security for the underlying hardware of the EC2 instances. Option E. Manage the underlying hypervisor. Correct answer is option D and option E. Question is, a company wants to receive alerts when resources that are launched in the company's AWS account reach 80% of the service quotas. Which AWS service should the company use to meet this requirement? Option A. AWS Cloud Trail. Option B. AWS Trusted Advisor. Option C. AWS Config. Option D. Amazon Inspector. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company wants to accelerate migration from its data center to the AWS cloud. Which combination of AWS services should the company use to meet this requirement? Select two options. Option A. Amazon Connect. Option B. AWS Direct Connect. Option C. AWS Server Migration Service AWS SMS. Option D. Amazon Route 53. Option E. AWS Organizations. Correct answer is option B and option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.